Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie, for those who don't know me, reviewing Love Island All-Stars Season 1 episodes 23, a little bit, and 24. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. Now, we don't really have much to talk about today, so I figured I would take this time to talk about the comments from Friday's video. Okay, so the reason why, because some people ask like questions in the comments and I don't really respond anymore because I don't like living in the comments. It's a lot, right? But the reason why I don't like living in the comments is because I can tell who watches all the way through and who just came to comment whatever they wanted to comment without even watching the video. And don't get me wrong, if y'all don't want to watch the video, that's your business. Like, you could do what you want to do. But I just had a few things to say. That's all. We gotta fill up the video anyways. We got time today, okay? Number one, people in the comments seem to think that I hate Arabella. Even if I did, that's my prerogative, but I don't. One, I literally titled the video, Arabella is back on top. I'm happy for her to be with Adam. Until y'all said in the comments that apparently Adam on season 2 was not a good guy, so... And in episode 23, when they kissed on the terrace, was it just me? Or did he seem like he had a reaction like job done on the terrace? I don't know. I could be reading into it, but she was so gassed and he was like, yeah. Anyways, I don't hate Arabella. I just don't like her. I just don't like her. But I can still not like her and be happy for her. And I am happy for her. Then with Chris, in the video, I said, what did I say? I said, what I don't like about Arabella is that she expects people to react how she wants them to react. And to me, that's not how life works. So it was so funny reading the comments and people are like, I watch your videos because we always agree, but now I'm mad at you because you don't agree with me. What do you want me to do about that? I'm sorry. That's life. You can't dictate how I'm gonna react to something. And I can't dictate that you're gonna be mad at me not being mad at things that you're mad about. So yeah, we see each other there. Anyways, in episode 23, Honey Chris was dumped. He was happy to go. It was interesting that at the exit interview with Maya, he said he needs to have a conversation with Joanna if he's going to pursue things with her. So I'm pretty sure he also has that feeling that Joanna isn't as sold on him as he was to her. On her way out, she had said if she stayed longer, things would have developed with Callum. I think he knows that that's where she wanted to be near the end of their journey. So yeah, that's an interesting one. Arabella says she's over the moon about Adam. Adam reciprocates that same energy. He says that she is his speed. If I were to put anybody together, honestly, they would be the match that makes the most sense to me. Casey and Eve, it's not even that they don't make sense to me, but I'm not surprised that things ended the way that they did. Casey said that he's not necessarily feeling the spark with her. He's not sure if he could see it on the outside, but that's not necessarily him saying that they don't see a future, which is where the discourse started to happen in that episode. So Callum, was it Callum? Yeah, Callum and Sophie were talking and he lets her know that Casey isn't feeling the spark yet. Sophie then goes and tells Eve. Eve took it as, oh, he doesn't see a future with me, then what's the point of us talking? She pulls Casey up to the terrace and then she pulls Callum up to corroborate that story. Listen, one thing Eve is going to do is stand on business. I loved it. I said, okay, girl, yeah, stop with the whispers. Let's talk directly. This is now the second time Casey has been stuck in a telephone game. And I'm like, sir, if anything, let's just go to the person who you have an issue with or who you're unsure about or who you're trying to pursue and whatever, and talk to them first. Because I swear in season 9, we went through this again with Casey. But anyways, he does confirm that he doesn't feel the spark yet, and he never said that he doesn't see it for them on the outside. But end of the day, Eve decided it's just not for her, so she is going to end it. They ended up being the ones dumped, Eve and Casey. And it seems like that's going to be the end of that. They're not going to they're just not going to do anything. So the couples at the bottom were Casey and Eve, Sophie and Josh, and Toby and Georgia, who expected to be at the bottom.
I've upset Molly in here. I've upset Callum in here. I've upset Arabella in here.
I've upset half of the people in here as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
If there's a reason for us to be in the public vote, I imagine it's because of me. Why would you be there? Do you know what I mean? Like, the public are going to love you.
They are absolutely at the bottom because of Georgia. I do think that Toby irritates a lot of people, but a lot of people too like the toxicity that Toby brings, whereas Georgia's toxicity is just annoying. The amount of clips that I've been seeing on social media, the amount of commentary from people who I didn't even expect to not like Georgia makes me think that Georgia is definitely the reason why she's in the bottom. And she was probably only in the top because of Callum. A lot of people on the internet really like Callum and really want Callum and Molly to get back together. Honey, y'all, your wish might come true, you know. Anyways, Georgia's sentiment is that even if she's at the bottom, as long as she's with Toby, she's fine because she feels like she's found her person. Josh and Sophie share that same sentiment. They're happy to have found each other. They were getting a lot more affectionate than they typically do, which they both acknowledge is out of the norm. But it was nice to see for once. A little bit of vulnerability from Josh is nice to see, you know? In the morning debrief, Toby says that he wasn't worried about being in the bottom, but was more worried about how it was going to affect Georgia. Georgia says that as long as she's with Toby, nothing matters. Sophie says that she and Josh aren't super affectionate, but they do have something special. Josh says that it scares him to say how he feels, and he later on has a conversation with Georgia Harrison. I think it was Georgia Harrison. And he talks about past relationships exposing his vulnerability, and he doesn't like that feeling. So he does have feelings for Sophie, but I guess trauma is what's keeping him from getting to that level. Love is a risk, man. If you really like this girl and you really want to try, then you just got to do it. You just got to do it. And so far, I've really loved Sophie this time around. Sans her picker. Her picker does seem to be a little bit off. But if Josh has the potential to be vulnerable and be a little bit more mature, I don't see why things couldn't work out. What do we have at the end here? Arabella thinks that Adam has a heart of gold, and Adam thinks that things between them are progressing very naturally. Then we have the genesis of potentially the reignition, all these words, of Callum and Molly. So they're trying to soothe the hearts of Tom and Jess, who just lost their most important people. So they decide to make breakfast together.
Can't believe you don't know what his favourite breakfast is.
What's Jess's?
Don't know.
Yeah. Cute. Right.
Cute.
Cute.
Wholesome.
That's the word.
Yeah, not cute.
G Steel. It could have been you.
Could have been.
Oh, shit.
But when you thought it'd come in the kitchen, you thought, what are them two doing together?
I know.
Cooking. Got bastards back together.
Watching them in the kitchen just reminded me how much I love them together. Like, what other couples in Love Island have I loved as much as I love them? I love India and Dami. I love Locken and Whitney. I loved Callum and Molly. Child, I think that's about it. I think that's it. Damn, is that it for real? That might be it. Priscilla and Mike, I liked them too. But yeah, in the UK version, I think that's it for me. So anyways, seeing them back together like this, I was like, oh, there's no chance at all. I do have to make it clear that they were just friendly. There was no flirting. There was nothing suspicious while they were in the kitchen. But a part of me was like, it could start up again. I don't know. Anyways, let's move on to the heart rate challenge. First up was Arabella. I loved her deep green lingerie set. The dancing was not dancing though. It was nothing to write home about. Honestly, everybody's dancing was piss poor if you ask me. Jess came out in the Renaissance Special, honey. That latex cowboy outfit was really cute. And her dancing, she just repeated the same move over and over again. Yeah, spoiler alert, she didn't raise anybody's heart rate. Georgia H was dressed like a Playboy bunny, but she didn't dance at all. It's clear that everybody was in agreement that she wasn't going to do anything. So, yeah, that was interesting. Molly had my favorite outfit by far. The pink lingerie. Very nice, very nice. Her dance was the sexiest up until this point, but it still wasn't, anything crazy, anything to write home about. Sophie's body was bodying. Sophie's body was bodying. Oh my gosh, you could have put her in a brown paper bag and she still would have slayed, okay? Her performance was really quick. She did one move per guy, basically. Who else is here? Georgia S. Her strategy was to body roll on every guy and then get really close to their face. So yeah, nobody danced for real. Then moving on to the guys, we have Anton, who was a cowboy. Honestly, the girls were screaming and I was wondering what they were screaming about, but okay. Callum's performance was very straightforward, honey. Nothing sexy about it at all. He did a little shocking move for Miss Molly, but yeah, that was it. Toby was an astronaut. He went for the more comedic route. I would be lying if I said I didn't laugh. I laughed the entire time. I'll give him his props. That was kind of funny. Josh tried his best. He tried his best. It was awkward. And then the cream. Yeah, it was awkward. Not gonna lie to you guys, by the time that Tom came out, I was not paying attention at all. I just saw that he was dressed as the devil. And y'all know I don't even mess with the devil child. So we're just gonna move past that. Adam has the best physique of the men. My God. He looks so good. Yeah, I felt like he was the guy who was trying to get the women's heart racing the most. Besides Georgia, he was really respectful. It's clear she had a conversation because, yeah, the guys weren't trying to do too much with Georgia H. So on to the results, because the results are very interesting, okay? Josh's heart is raised the most by Sophie. Anton by Molly. I mean, we know it was not going to be Georgia H, but I was like, oh, Molly. Okay. Adam was raised by Georgia Steele. Okay. Toby by Arabella. The men aren't loyal. We know it's just a game. But I was like, oh, very interesting. Tom was raised by Georgia Steele. A little bit of unfinished business going on here when it comes to the men. Callum raised most by Molly. And at first it wasn't a big deal, but we're going to get to the ladies' results, okay? Georgia Harrison was raised the most by Tom. Sophie was raised by... was Sophie raised by Josh or Tom? I think I wrote Tom, but I also wasn't paying attention, so I think it was Josh. Anyways, moving on. Georgia Steele was raised by Toby. Good for her. Arabella was raised by Adam. Good for her. Jess was raised by Callum. Good for her. And not good for Molly. Molly's heart rate was raised the most by Callum.
What? That's really awkward. So where do we all go from here then?
So, of course, everybody's here like, oh, it's just a game. But once it got to Molly, people were like, okay, well, hold on now. Hold on a minute. Y'all both raising each other's hearts? Y'all earlier were just cooking together. Like, what? Could this be the road back to each other? I wouldn't mind it personally. No, would I? I think I would. If they're going back to that whiny business that they were doing from episodes 1 to 17, that's a joke. More like 1 to 7. I don't want that. But if it's back to like the good times, happy days, I'll take it. They're so cute together. I will take it. So the results at the end were that the couple who raised their heart rates the highest were Sophie and Josh. And then the lowest heart rate was Molly and Tom. Is there trouble in paradise? I don't know. As everybody says, it's just a game. It's just a game. But we know these games are supposed to sow some discourse. And I think that that's what's going to happen. I cannot wait to see what the aftermath of this game is going to be. Are y'all even rooting for Molly and Callum to get back together? I'm not even rooting for it in terms of the show. I'm rooting for it in terms of like whatever attachment I had to them. Because on the show, I'm not gonna lie, them trying to get back together was annoying as hell. But they're one of my favorite couples, so like, please get back together, please. Or no, don't. Do it? No? Child, I sound just as confused as Molly. We'll see what the fallout is. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.